One thing I want to tell you straight out is I will probably be different than a lot of people that have been on here.
Okay.
To be honest, I didn't really think I wanted to do acting when I first got involved. I just fell in love with it. But I thought that's how it's going to be on every set. I had no clue what I was doing. It's time to challenge myself. I didn't quite get those goals. I just couldn't get enough. Yeah, I got tired of beating up myself. Sorry to tell you, they cut your parts. I did the work. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue. So many of us need to have that attitude. I'll be the hardest working person you've ever had. I made a lot of mistakes. Getting out of my own head was the hardest one. I'm always trying to stretch myself. Like I said, the journey never stops. I'm gonna give hope.
Before we start, if you could subscribe on YouTube, that would really help us out. Hit like and be sure to comment your favorite part at the end of this interview. Hope you enjoy. Welcome to my podcast. Thanks for being here.
I'm excited. Let's have some fun.
Excellent, excellent. I like to dive into the beginning of when the dream of acting was born.
Well, one thing I want to tell you straight out is I will probably be different than a lot of people that have been on here.
Okay.
I'm going to give hope.
Nice. We love hope.
Right. Because I'm being honest, I didn't really think I wanted to do acting when I first got involved.
Oh, yeah?
My journey started with background. I honestly did not even want to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you get into background? You fell into it?
Yeah, I fell into it, couldn't get out. No, it was during the pandemic. My son, who was at the time around 10, 11, he was going through this stage where he just thought that if he went outside, he would get the big COVID.
Right.
And that was heartbreaking to watch. He didn't want to go outside, and he didn't want to go to his friend's house. He did everything just basically from his room. And I was trying to figure out how to get him out to do something. And one of my friends, Greg Henderson, said, hey, you know what? My son is doing background. He's having a lot of fun doing it, meeting a lot of people. Maybe you should try it with your son. So for 6 months, I tried to get him to even take a picture so I can submit him.
Right.
No, didn't work at all. And finally he said, why don't you try it? I'm like, no, I don't want to be in front of the camera. I don't like people. I'm shy. Like, what if they make me say anything? He says, just background. You don't have to do anything. Walk back, forth, boom, done. I said no for 6 months. And then he finally said, hey, let's just do it on this weekend. It was like a Labor Day 2021. And I said, okay, fine. And there I was on the set, and it was a Christmas movie, an MOW. Didn't even know what MOW stood for. And there was an actor there who we both know, Mark Taylor. Shout outs to him. And yeah, so I was like, okay, hey Mark, how you doing? And then we heard there was a special guest. And the special guest came out and he started singing. We all looked around and it was Smokey Robinson.
Oh, no way.
I was like a schoolgirl. Ah! And this kid beside me was like, who's Smokey Robinson? I was like, really?
Google it, kids.
Okay. So he wasn't a kid, he was like 19 to 20. I'm like, it's probably how you were born or your parents were born. But anyways, so it was a lot of fun. And yeah, so I was trying to leave. And there it was. He gave me this nod and I nodded back and he said, come here. So I did.
No way.
And we started talking and I was like, Mr. Robinson, you've done so much for the music industry. I so respect everything you've done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And he's like, don't call me Mr. Robinson, call me Smokey. I was like, this is it. And then he said, give me a hug. And I gave him a hug and I was like, wow. And then I looked behind me and every other background artist behind me was trying to get in line because I got away with it. But I thought that's how it's going to be on every set. I was wrong. But it was an introduction.
Yeah, but what an amazing first experience. Damn.
That was amazing. And then I tried some other sets and did some other things. And then I said, you know what? It's time to challenge myself. So I said, let's try something where I have a speaking part. So I did that after about 4 months. I decided what I was going to do. Started wanting to take some classes. I got myself an agent at the time, and then they were trying to give me all these commercial auditions, self-tapes. I had no clue what I was doing.
No way.
Zero. I'm like, YouTubing, how do I do a slate? You know, I had no clue.
Right, yeah.
So it was fun. It was fun. And then my very first, let's say, film and television thing I did was like a Fear Thy Neighbor episode, and it was so awesome. And I just fell in love with it. I just couldn't get enough.
Nice. That's wicked. What did you do before the pandemic?
I did lots of things. That's why the sigh. I've been involved in transportation logistics for about 3 decades.
Okay.
So not that I just came out of the canal and started, because I'm old enough to have been in it for a while. So
nice.
But yeah, I've had a marketing company. I've had a bakery before.
Nice.
I've owned my own trucking company. So I just kind of use the same skills towards what I do now.
Wicked. That's awesome.
I had some fun with it.
That's great. And so you had a background agent, or did you apply for background stuff yourself?
At that time, when I was doing background, before I got in any principal work, a friend of mine said, do you want to make money or do you want to complain? And that's how we talk, right? And I was like, no, I want to make money. So I was like, okay, get as many background agents as you can. Boom, did that. And so I became like, oh, hey, are you available for this show? Are you available for that show? And I just kept going.
Nice.
But then when I wanted to do principal work, I realized that you can only get one agent. And I was like, okay, cool. What do I do? I have no clue. So I had a friend of mine, Richard Okolo, who kind of gave me a little bit of, okay, well, you got to set some goals. You got to figure out what you want to do, what's your long-term goals, short-term goals, work your way backwards. And that's what I did.
Nice.
And that's kind of helped me to where I am today.
Okay, wicked. So when you did the big goals and breaking them down into little goals, what did that look like for you?
Well, I said my first year, I wanted to do 10 commercials, and I wanted to be in about 4 TV shows. I didn't quite get those goals. But
Pretty ambitious. I mean, I like the level.
you got to set it big.
Yeah, I like that you set it high.
Because if you don't set it high, then what's it? Oh, I want 1 commercial and 1 TV show.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you hit it, then you're like, now what? So
Yeah.
I don't mind the disappointment of not hitting it, because that, it's like the old saying, if you don't target something, you don't hit something, then you're not going to get it, right?
Right.
So I was tired of missing those opportunities. I never took a chance.
It keeps that drive going too, which is nice too. Yeah, as long as you're gentle with yourself and.
Yeah, I got tired of beating up myself. I've done that over the last 2 years and being in this industry, and it's like, you know what? You got to take a break. You got to be thankful for what you have.
100%.
So that's what I try and do.
Nice. Wicked.
Try and keep a little positive attitude when I can, and it's helped me out on sets. Help me out in life, and just have fun.
Wicked. That's awesome. And so I know you did background with your wife as well. Did she join? Was she doing it first and then you joined, or vice versa? Or at the same time, everybody just was like, the whole family is doing background?
Yeah, that's a funny one. The truth of the matter is, of course, I started.
Okay.
And then I started doing some principal work. And because of the pandemic, it just was a life restructuring moment. So it was like, well, what do you want to do? Well, I know what I don't want to do, is what she said. So I said, well, try background. And she's like, well, there's only one way I'm going to do background. I go, what's that? Well, if I'm on Star Trek or I'm on Movie of the Week. And I'm like, you don't know? Okay, sure, yeah. So there happened to be that same day, there was a posting for Star Trek. So I took some pictures, gave her measurements, sent it in. She went to the bathroom. And then there was this other posting for, Handmaid's Tale. And that was the one that picked her. And
amazing.
She was mad at me the first time because she did 14 and a half hours the first day.
Oh,
and 10 and a
wow.
half, she's like, my feet hurt. And I'm like,
That's a long
I'm like, oh,
day.
you're doing great. But, you know, I'm still alive, so that's the main thing.
That's awesome.
I've done some bad things, you know. Whatever.
I love it.
You know, my kids don't really have an interest in it. My son, my youngest one, he's 15 now. He's done a couple of background stuff. So he was on one show we got to do together was like a See No Evil, which was like a
Nice.
One of those docuseries.
Yep.
That was fun. But it's funny. His attitude is quite amazing in that I remember that show. We waited till it was finally aired, and they cut a bunch of his parts. Only had like one small little part, and he had like 4 or 5 parts.
Right.
And I think he almost had like a talking role kind of thing. And I had to sit him down and said, you know, I'm sorry to tell you, they cut your parts. He looked me dead in the eye, and he said, "Did I get paid?" And then he walked away.
So true. I get paid for it. I mean, I did it.
I think so many of us need to have that attitude where it's like, I did the work.
Yes.
I got paid.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't always need the spotlight. Right?
100%. Yeah, that's so true. I think it's the end result versus the work, and that little disconnect is something we all learn as actors. But yeah, that is a good way to look at it. I got paid for it. I did the work. Mission accomplished.
My very first speaking part is my 3rd time on a set.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 2nd, 3rd time on the set. I was doing background, and the director came up to me and said, "Hey, what's your name?" I told my name, Kevin Reid. He said, "Can you say this?" I said it, say it to this person, said it, say it to this person, I said it, say it to this person, said it, they said it back to me, and he walked away and said, "Let's start." And I'm like, "Start what?" So I was like,
That's hilarious.
what? So I didn't know, I didn't understand, I didn't even know what apprentice was, upgrade, I had no clue. I got a speaking part, really. I waited 22 months to watch me on this show called Painkiller, if I can say that, which
Sure.
was on Netflix.
Yeah.
And 22 months later, I found they cut my talking part.
Oh, boo.
So what if I just depended on that? So the great thing is I realized I had to just keep working.
Yeah.
Because I don't know when that show might air, when I might have that talking part to make that part of my demo reel.
Right.
So I just developed a work ethic and just kept going hard.
Nice. That's awesome. So when you went to apply for agents, and what did you have that you pitched to them? When you sent them an email, what did you include?
I had some really bad, what I thought was headshots. I didn't realize those are portraits. Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue. I got into this thing thinking, sure, why not? And I did.
The best
So I
attitude
tried
to
some
have.
spiels. I remember when I got my first agent, she was like, well, you don't have any acting experience? I said, absolutely. She goes, well, why should I take a chance on you? I said, because I'll be the hardest working person you've ever had. And hopefully that's what I did. I made a lot of mistakes. I effed up a lot, but
Yeah. What kind of mistakes that
well,
looking back?
looking back, I guess I didn't know what things were. I didn't know how to do a slate. I didn't know how to do a self-tape, where the eye line. I didn't know any of that stuff.
Right.
I was watching YouTube videos. I was watching other people's that posted theirs. Oh, okay, I'm supposed to do it like that.
Right.
Oh,
YouTube Academy.
background. What do you call it? Backdrop. Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, my kitchen wall, all those. No, that didn't work. So but it was a journey,
Yeah.
right? I'm still learning, still
Absolutely.
having fun with it.
100%.
And then every once in a while, I just try and level things up a little bit, invest back in myself. That's what acting classes are for, or buying that backdrop I bought for my birthday,
Nice.
It's like, oh yeah, I've had gray, I want blue.
Yeah.
Let's do that for your birthday, right?
Yeah.
Treated myself.
I love it.
So.
That's awesome. And where do you take acting classes?
Currently.
Shout out.
Raw Acting Studios.
Shout out Raw.
Shout out to Raw. But yeah, no, I have a lot of fun.
Nice.
But I mean, acting classes with actors, it's always, whatever agrees with them. Raw agrees with me, and that's where I have my fun.
Nice.
Shout out to Raw again.
Hey-o.
But yeah.
What is some of the things that you've learned at Raw taking classes there?
Oh, great question. Getting out of my own head was the hardest one.
That is the hardest one.
Still learning.
It's constant. It's like daily. You learn it and then you got to relearn it the next day. It's nuts.
Just kind of relaxing, being in the moment.
Yep.
Being at one with my scene partner, getting that connection, just being able to sometimes just stare, look in each other's eyes. We haven't started yet. Are you relaxed? I'm relaxed. Hey, nobody else is here.
Yeah.
It's just us. Just focus on us. Okay, great. He says action. Okay, we start.
Yeah.
And the magic happens.
The magic happens.
Right.
I love it. And who's your agent? I didn't ask who your agent is.
My agent currently is Mark Rutherford from Ruth Gravity.
Nice.
He is, I wouldn't say he's a new agent because he's not new to the scene, but his corporation, his business is rather new.
Okay.
But one of the great things is he not only represents actors, he also represents directors, writers,
Nice.
and I think that kind of puts our creativity in a different space. It uplifts us, if you will, right? So.
Nice. That's awesome. And how long have you been at that agency?
2 months.
2 months. Nice. So it's new.
It's new, and the
Excellent.
thing is, what I like about it is with him, I feel it's a boutique. Things can be specialized. I'm not one of 10 to 15 guys that look like me, my same height. We look the same. No, there's a couple.
Yeah.
Hopefully, right now there's only one.
That's right.
Anyways, but there's only one
awesome.
Kevin Reid, so that's the only thing.
That's right.
Though that's not true because I know about 3.
There's only one like you.
There's only one
Born
like me.
on list birthday here.
Yeah. There's another Kevin Reid I know that's even in the film business. It's weird. It's strange.
Oh, no way.
It's another story.
That's so funny. Was that a problem with IMDb when you got searched up?
Yeah. So that's why I had to use my middle name in there too.
Oh,
So,
fair
yeah.
enough, fair enough.
Kevin Lloyd Reid. Anyways, yes. But yeah, no. But I found the looking for an agent was an interesting. I didn't understand it. But it was kind of like a growing pain, if you will.
Okay.
So my first time looking for an agent was kind of difficult because again, I didn't know anything about the industry.
Right.
I didn't know what they wanted, but I knew I had a hunger. When I decided to change agents, then yeah, it was a little like, okay, so now I have a little bit more to add.
Okay, nice.
So, I had developed a demo reel and developed some great headshots and a personality, which, still with me. Take it or leave it.
Can't get rid of it.
Can't get rid of it. But it'll grow on you. Maybe like a wart. I don't know. But, it grows.
It grows. I love it. That's awesome. And so is this your second agency that you're with?
This is my second agent.
Okay, nice. And what made you make a switch?
That was a hard decision. For me, my reason for switching was, again, I think it was a well-known agent. But again, I felt like I was a number.
Okay, yeah.
And
Just want a little more intimacy.
I wanted a little more intimacy. I wanted somebody to represent me, not one of 15 guys that's on the roster that we all look the same or something, talk the same.
Right.
I wanted to feel special because we are all individuals, right? Yeah, we have our own representation of how we do our artistry, if you will, but we're all individuals, and I think that's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think we should feel that way. Right?
100%. So since you started acting, what have you found the hardest part about having a career in acting?
Anticipation. In between gigs is the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Right? Trying to find that new thing. Trying to keep yourself busy. For me, being in this field, I don't want to go back to what I used to do. I don't want to go back to working, like my background again was logistics. So I work with basically truck, air, ocean, rail. I worked in those industries. I arranged a lot of the transportation things international across the world. I didn't want to do it anymore. I just said this was it. You know, I guess for me, my story goes back to when I was working for a company and I needed a week off. I had a commercial and I was also filming something else. And he said, because he knew before he hired me what I was doing.
Yep.
And I told him, there might be times where I need to take a couple of days off here, a couple of days off there. Are you okay with it? Yeah. I really want you to work with me, blah, 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 blah. And we had a good relationship. But he said, I can't do it right now. I said, okay, that's cool. Because I said, I might make 5,000 to 8,000 from a commercial right here.
Yeah.
And how long is that going to take me, and how many days is it going to take me to do that with you?
Right.
So we left on amicable terms. I mean, we still talk here and there, and that's good. But I did tell him, when I'm working for you, I'm working 100% for you.
Yeah.
But when I'm on the set, don't be calling me asking me, where's this file, where's that file?
Yeah.
You'll have to wait in between shots, or when I have a break, or when I go on a lunch. I'll call you, I'll tell you that, but hey, I gotta go.
Yep, 100%.
That's just how it is, right? But I think that's just part of my work ethic, and that's why he liked working with me. I like working with him, and I brought that same work ethic to this field right now.
Amazing. I love it. That's awesome. Have you had a favorite on-set experience so far?
Oh, favorite on-set experience. I personally, 99% of the time, have fun wherever I go.
That's so awesome.
I mean, I've done a lot of weird things. I used to work in a courthouse. I run nightclubs for 3 decades. So I meet a lot of people. I'm used to it. Get into people in a second, if you will. But I guess my most fun time I had was recently, well, last year. I was on a show called Fear Thy Neighbor. Yep. And I just had a lot of fun. It was like, I had no nervousness. It's like, I got my lines, and the director was fun to work with, and they just gave me some rein. They're like, oh yeah, do it like this, but however you want to do it. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bring it. And then I had to do this kind of scene where I remember they asked me to pretend to dance to like Christian music because it was the setting. I was this person who was, how do I say it? My neighbor was trying to run a scam and basically take my house. And so I was trying to irritate them by playing loud music, and I was like, hallelujah, and I did all this dance. And there was people like that actually lived in the neighborhood, and they were watching me do my dance. I didn't care. It was like Jimmy Crack-Corn, and I don't care. Yeah. And I just kept doing my thing.
I'm getting paid for this.
I'm getting paid.
I love it.
But I had fun, and we just made it fun.
Amazing.
And that's what I like. I like having fun with people.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So that's what it was all about to me.
And speaking of people, you seem like a natural networker. Are you a natural? Are you one of those odd people who are naturally good at networking?
Well, here's the thing. I think it dates back to college for me.
Okay.
So when I was in college, when I was in high school, I hated doing presentations. I didn't like talking in front of people. Again, I'm kind of a recovering introvert.
Can relate. Yeah.
Right. So when I need to be, talk to people in a networking like setting, I'll figure it out. But a lot of times I step in the room, I go, why is there all these people here? Oh gosh, take a deep breath. Hey, how you doing? My name's Kevin Reid. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Right? I know. It's so stressful at first.
So when I was in college, I didn't like talking to people, but I noticed one of my my friends, who actually, again, Greg Anderson, who got me into this kind of field.
Nice.
We were partners, and I tried to partner myself with some of the best people in the class because I wasn't good at it. He was great at doing presentations and talking to the class and involving the class, and he would get like A's in all his presentations.
Amazing.
So I purposely paired up with him, and I said one day,
Smart.
what are you doing? How are you able to do this? And he says, just follow my lead. This is what I do. And I was the type of person to have all the information on the paper, look at it, and I'd be shaking because I'm talking and I'm nervous. And no.
Right.
So I watched him, and he showed me this secret, which killed me. He literally had 3 to 5 subjects on this paper. Now, I'm not saying to do this if you're young and you're in class. I'm not saying this is how you do presentations, but this is what he did. So he had like 3 to 5 things, and he just learned to talk to the room. Sometimes he was even smart, and he preset things, and he said to some of our other classmates and said, I'm going to ask you this is how I want you to answer. Teacher didn't know. So then I was like, okay, I need to learn to relax. I need to learn to engage people. And we got to the point where we were doing presentations. I went into one class and I said, do you want to give us an A now, or do you want us to really present? Yeah, he didn't like that one, but still got an A, maybe minus. But anyways, so for me, learning to talk to people was a challenge. So what I did was I tricked myself into learning or putting myself into situations. So people say, oh, well, you do nightclubs, you run nightclubs, that must be easy for you. No. The person I did it with, he was the outgoing, again, Greg, he was outgoing. So then I just put myself in the situation where I had to talk. Sometimes it was just running the front door, getting to know people, right? So, Monday I was at the ACTRA event. It was for the diversity committee.
Yes.
Again, I didn't know a lot of people. I just went ACTRA like in June, 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Nice, congrats.
I don't know a lot of people. So I volunteered, and I actually volunteered to be a greeter. How else can I meet people but being right there front and center? And then I learned their name because I had to check it off. I welcomed them.
Strategic.
People like feeling good when I said, hey, great to see you. How are you? I am awesome. Thanks for asking. What's your name? Kevin Reid. And that's how it started.
Nice.
And it's just a matter of putting myself in the position to win.
Yeah.
Then when I went home, I was hugging my pillow going, oh God, so many people.
Battery low. Need to recharge social battery.
Yeah. But it's the truth.
So
It's
funny.
like, I didn't start off by saying, oh yeah, I know everybody or I want to talk to everybody, but I put myself in a position to say, hey, you know what? If I do this, I might meet somebody, because you never know who your next best friend is. You never know who's the next person who's going to be the director of the century,
Yeah.
right? Who's going to be your next actor or actress that you get to work with. You never know.
Yeah.
So you just put yourself in that position, and then sometimes there's that email, that phone call, that message that says, hey, do you remember me? No. Yeah, of course I do. We met at so of course, yeah. Yeah, I'm working on something. Really? And that's happened.
Nice. That's awesome. That's so cool. So how did going union happen for you?
I was on a short film called Gentle Barbarians. I was offered a role to play like the trainer, and they kind of went financially in a different direction, and unfortunately didn't pay their actors, and I said, hey, I'm going to go actor and get my money.
No way.
Yeah, but I already had 2 previous credits, which I
Yeah.
rejected, so I went non-union to full in one motion.
Nice. That's awesome. The previous credits were from commercials?
No, the previous credits, one was from a show called Painkiller, and another one, I played a role in a movie that's playing in TIFF right now, A Fire Inside.
What? That's awesome.
So.
Very cool, very cool. Well, congrats again on going to getting union. That's wicked. Do you have a dream role or a dream genre that you'd like to perform in?
That's a great question. You see, here's my thing. A lot of times I get the role of police officer. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to be on a Law and Order.
Right.
Sorry.
When you need to recast your leads.
When you're looking. Hi. Yes. So
I love it.
yeah, I'd love to. I usually get like a lawyer role or a police officer role, detective, and that's great. I'd love to do like even have like a doctor role at one point, but I want to do something different. I like to be stretched. That's how I got into this industry, and why I haven't stopped is because I'm always trying to stretch myself.
Nice.
People ask my secret as to what I did to move as I have. I did a lot of short films. I did short films. I really thank a lot of the students who trusted me, or the student films or the short film directors who trusted me, chose me, because I got to play a lot of different roles that I normally wouldn't have gotten.
Amazing.
And I don't mind doing a thriller or something romantic, as long as my wife approves.
That's right.
Something sci-fi, but I mean, I enjoy the action movies and stuff, you know.
Wicked.
So.
Nice. Your scene, what was your scene in, when I went to see you in acting class at Raw? What was that scene from?
That was from the movie Smith, about Smith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because when it started, I was like, oh, that's so interesting, because I wouldn't have pegged that character for you, but you did it so well. I really liked what you did with it. Just thought I'd let you know.
Thank you. You know, that's the thing. I know sometimes people meet me at first, and sometimes they're like, you're very serious. You're very...
Yeah, just going off of like what I imagine your headshot to be, because you do have a natural like, you're gonna take me seriously.
Oh yes.
Kind of face.
Hold on,
there it is.
Hold on a second. Listen here. Yeah, but another fun role I got to play in a comedy called Thirsty as Fuck, Thirsty AF.
Yep.
Again, thank you, Carlos. Thank you, LA, for casting me in that.
Shout out.
Shout out. But I like comedy too. I have a funny side to me.
For sure.
If you haven't seen it yet, you will.
And there it is.
Seriously. But
I love it.
You know, you gotta have fun in what you do. So
Yeah, for sure.
when I get that chance to just let loose, and they say, yeah, just your interpretation, I'm like, I got lots of interpretations. I'm an only child. I have lots of interpretations. I'm like Sybil sometimes, right?
Yeah, just like all these different personalities rolling around.
Right, as long as it's not the one with the tick. I'm not just joking.
That's hilarious. You also do, I find this a creative thing on the side that you do, like food reviews and videos for restaurants and that kind of thing with your wife. Tell me about that experience and how that got started.
Well, we are food bloggers, superherofoodies.
Plug.
But with superherofoodies, I mean, it gave us a chance to, again, get out, meet people. We are both recovering introverts, and we don't always, you know.
That's so funny, because I would never guess that about you too.
Yeah. We liked the pandemic when we could just stay at home and
I
watch.
love the pandemic.
And just watch more TV shows.
Yeah, right?
Who cares who's getting paid for it? I just want to watch more.
I know.
That series is over? Oh gosh, again. When's that next one? 6 months, eh? No, anyway.
Right?
But no, yeah, so we, our kids play sports. Mm-hmm. 2 of our kids play semi-pro hockey.
Nice.
So we went from rink to rink to rink to rink, going from one practice to a game to another practice.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we picked up the kids and we left to go to that said event. And kids were always hungry. And my wife likes taking pictures and photos, and our physiotherapist one day said, hey, you know what? You can get paid if you create your own page and post just food on it. Really?
Yeah.
Really? I heard paid. That was it.
You can get paid?
Who cares about the food? Let's get paid. So, so we just had some fun with it, and met a lot of interesting people, a lot of foodies.
Nice.
Met a bunch of actors in there too, you know, and it's just, but we all eat.
Yeah.
So we just have fun, and we meet a lot of restaurateurs, and because we've done different things, we owned a bakery, like I said earlier.
Yep.
So we kind of understand their side, and sometimes we can present some different ways or marketing tools
Nice.
that can help bring them some business. And you know, sometimes, you know, my wife doesn't always like to be in front of the camera. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. But sometimes I'm the goofy one doing that thing with the food, and she's like, "Oh God, again."
Just shaking her head behind the camera.
Yeah, as long as the camera's not shaking, just the head. And,
That's great. That's awesome. That's so cool. I'd love to get paid for eating food. That'd be great. That's awesome. Do you guys have a favorite restaurant that you've been to in the last couple months, like just this last summer?
Man, you see, the thing is, I get asked that, and my problem is that
You like
it depends
it all?
on my mood.
That's true. That's very true.
Right? Like, I have a Caribbean background. My dad is Jamaican. My mom's Trinidadian, so I'm used to that kind of food.
Right.
My wife is Filipino, so she's used to that. But we eat everything.
Yes.
As long as there's no pork or certain vegetables. But anyways, that's another thing.
Certain vegetables. Oh, right. Yeah. Like certain vegetables, I was like, as in the green ones?
Yeah, right. No. Those things are too good. I mean, I'm a meatitarian, so
Yeah.
I'm saving all the vegetable eating people. I'm giving them more food.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I help out.
Yeah, you do your part. You do your part. That's all you can do, really, right?
I love you vegans. I love everybody. I love everybody that eats foods, all kinds of foods. It's just I love meat. But yes.
It happened that way.
It happened that way. Yeah.
I love it. That's so fun. That's so cool.
But I mean, no, I just think with this acting journey, you just got to make the best of it.
Yeah.
Everybody's journey is different. Not everybody's going to relate to mine. Most won't. There might be someone that says, yeah, I've had a goofy time too. But, you know, just have fun with it. And that's what it's all about to me.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And you never, it's never too late to join in. I mean, you were in a different career for 30 years, and then you're like, yeah, you know what, maybe I'll try background, maybe I'll try acting, maybe I'll try this. So dreams change and evolve.
I started this in my 40s. So when somebody says I'm too old, and I'm like, how old are you, 20 what?
20 what? Sit down.
I could be your father, just.
You just you keep that to yourself.
Keep that energy.
That's right. That's right. Never too old, never too late.
No,
never.
And that's the thing. Like I said, the journey never stops. So we just have fun.
Absolutely.
Have fun. Even when the set, it's like, all these things are happening, maybe some disorganization, but like my son says, you got paid, right?
Right.
And then he walks off.
I got paid?
Yeah. It's all that. It's all that.
Excellent. Check. That's
Didn't get
awesome.
paid, now you got to start some shit.
Now you gotta send some emails or letters or something. What did you do when that instance that you didn't get paid for that project? What was your What was your plan of getting that back?
Well, when I realized people weren't getting paid, I just moved on. That's the thing.
I'm not gonna wait.
No, here's the thing. I know a lot of people complained about it, and I get it.
Yeah.
But my job, I don't get paid by complaining. I get paid by working.
Yeah.
So I just gotta find the next gig, right? I gotta find the next gig, or I gotta make the next gig. That's one thing I've noticed the difference between being union and non-union. You know, non-union, I didn't realize how great I had it.
Oh yeah? How so?
Well, A, I had commercials. B, they were just like short films galore. So a lot of people, I meet them in being non-union, and they're like, oh, there's not enough work. I'm like, how many short films did you do this year? What? Only? Okay. Like, my first year goal was, 10 short films.
Nice.
And then afterwards it was 15 short films.
Wicked. And how'd you go about finding the short films? ClassicMandy.com?
Mandy.com, Facebook groups, just talking to people. One thing a friend of mine said to me that changed my life, not really changed my life, just changed my thinking, is she said, you gotta find your number. And I was like, what does that mean? She goes, you gotta figure out how many times you do something before you get paid. So she used this as an example. She said, I book 1 in every 25 self-tapes.
Nice.
Right?
That's pretty
she
good.
goes, of that, and I said, wow, that could.
Right? I'd take those odds.
Can I just take 1 in 100? But anyways, let's just get to the point. She said, at 1 in every 25. Then she said, I get recalls 1 in every 8. So basically,
Damn.
1 in every 3 recalls she books, which is a 25. And I was like, okay, I gotta start looking at my number.
Like a sports stat almost.
Right.
Like what is your touchdown?
What's your percentage?
Yeah.
Then you start looking at who do you, which casting agents like you? Which ones do you have the recalls with?
Right.
Who's trying to bring you in more and more and more? Those are the ones you need to figure out. Here's an interesting one. When you go to that said casting agent, what colors are their backgrounds? What colors are you wearing to that agency? Because you know it's going to be that same room.
Yeah. If they have a blue background, don't be wearing blue.
Wear burgundy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wear tan. Wear beige. Don't always wear black and white.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So, you know, those are just little things that I was like, made me think. Now I gotta start treating this thing like a business, because it's a business.
Yes.
It's a business first.
Absolutely.
Sorry, just a straight face went. I see. Yeah, it happened. I can't make it funny, but yeah. So you got to treat it like a business, and you get paid like a business. I used to tell some people, I said, you know what? You got to treat this like, you got to stop playing checkers, start playing chess.
Ooh.
Then my Chinese friend said, you gotta stop treating it like chess and treat it like mahjong. I said, yeah, you're right. But
I love that.
whatever, right? But you gotta play to win,
Yeah.
right? So for new actors, I always say, try and figure out what your goals are. What do you want to do 2, 5, 10 years from now? How do you want to get there? You want to be in let's say you want to be in a drama. What have you done to get yourself there? Well, I haven't done anything. Have you done any short films? No. Have you done any acting classes? No. Well, then maybe that will get you towards your goal.
Yeah.
What do you need to do? Who do you need to meet? Where do you need to go? Right?
Who can you ask
Who can
questions?
stretch you? Do you have an acting coach? No. Well, that's a lot of no's. That's going to bring you a bunch of no's. How can you get yeses? Right?
Yeah.
Right? So just putting yourself in that situation to win.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make that an Instagram reel.
There you go.
I hope they like it as much as I did.
I hope you like that, kids. More to come. Yeah,
We're just spouting wisdom here.
hey, man. No, you know what? Like I said, my greatest acknowledgement, I guess, when I got into this thing was when, Richard Piccolo, again, thanks Richard, said, treat it like a business. Because it is. Treat it like a business, pay you like a business.
Yeah.
Right? Treat it like a hobby, well, congratulations.
It'll be a hobby.
Yeah, I got lots of comics. None of them have paid me. That's a hobby.
For sure, for sure. Wicked. Well, I'm going to finish up this podcast with just a quick, maybe one, maybe two questions. I haven't decided. Depends.
Let's have some fun.
Depends how I feel. It depends if I come up with those questions. So, first question is, what is a piece of advice that you would give your younger self? Or someone starting out in the entertainment industry? Either one.
My younger self? Keep going. Don't stop. Stop when it's time. But other than that, don't stop.
Nice. Okay, and when would it be time to stop?
When I can't move.
That's fair. That's fair. And even then, voiceover.
Voiceover. Wheelchair me.
Yeah. That was my best day on background. I sat in a wheelchair, somebody else pushed me. I was like, this is fantastic that I'm getting paid for this.
Yeah, the best time I've ever had on background was when I got to play a patient on a bed.
Yep.
I accidentally fell asleep, but hey, who cares?
Got paid.
I got paid.
I love it. I love it.
Business. It's all business.
100%. 100%. And last question, what would you call this chapter of your career or of your life, if you could title it?
This chapter would be called Becoming an Actor.
Becoming an actor.
Because I'm not there yet. I got so much more to get.
Everybody. It's constant.
Right?
Constant.
I'm still at the bottom of the ladder. Man, That's great. Some people that sucks, I get it. But that's great, because it means there's that much more room to go up.
That's true. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on my podcast today. I've so enjoyed this conversation with you.
No worries. I will do this again.
Excellent. Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you want to come back on, we'll have you. 100%.
Okay.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for listening to this interview. I hope you learned something. I hope you laughed. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, hit the like button and please subscribe. It helps out the podcast so much if you do. And if you'd like to donate to help us keep this podcast going, you can head to my website, AlisonMullings.com. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next interview.